as a Charles Oliveira fan, I gotta say Do Bronx screwed himself up big time in this case. All about it in this video. Hello and welcome to Bloodsport MMA. I would say let's get right into the video that started it all. So just that you know the backstory, Charles Oliveira was scheduled to face Rafael Fiziev. Fiziev then had to pull out due to an injury just a couple of days ago. The fight is scheduled for October 12th, which is exactly in 2.5 weeks, right? 2.5 weeks. And Olivera then came out with this statement. And mind you, if you don't know Olivera, he's normally a guy that is very calm and does not really talk crap or anything. What the hell?
Caiu. Só que olha só.
Don't fall for the talk of these guys out here. I'm here, I'll go. Because the UFC is calling and they're all saying, oh, there's not enough time to make weight. Oh, I can't. They're posting this on the internet to get hype. Stop it. It's not a good look. I saw one saying this, another saying that. But when the UFC calls, what do they say? Oh, I can't. I got the bellyache. I broke a finger. I hurt my hand. Enough with that. It's not a good look. I want to fight at UFC Rio. I asked for this fight. My opponent got hurt. Then 10 guys showed up, saying they will fight. So far, every time the UFC calls, let's fight, they say, I can't. So stop with that because it's not a good look. Do you want fame? Do something else. Don't come saying you'll fight when it's a lie, okay? Alright, so what Charles Oliveira is implying here, he desperately wants to fight at UFC Rio. Understandable, even though I would not advise it, but more to that in a second. He desperately wants to fight at UFC Rio. And his opponent pulled out, so they need a new opponent. And of course, with the pullout was like 3 weeks before the fight. Now we're 2.5 weeks before the fight. It's hard to find a replacement that short notice. But Charles Oliveira is a big name, so it is smart for fighters to fight him. Because there's a lot at stake. If you beat Charles Oliveira, that's a win that feeds generations. You know what I mean? That win gets you so close to a title shot and all of that. So a lot of people should step up, in my opinion. Now, the first guy that it probably meant was Mateusz Gamrot, Benoit Saint-Denis. Benoit Saint-Denis said after his win against, who did he beat? Mahis Houfi in Paris. He said, hey, if anyone between Fiziev and Olivera falls out, I'm there, call me. Like, I'm ready to go, because he didn't really take any damage in the fight, and he was like, I want to stay active. Call me. Now, Benoit Saint-Denis, when he got asked about that fight, he declined it and said, no, I want to fight Charles. I want to give Charles the respect he deserves by having a full training camp for him and all of that. And I'm like, bro, I understand if you need a full training camp, you don't want to risk getting back in there so quick and losing a shot. Okay, I understand that in a way, but you cannot say Assalamu alaikum, congrats about whiskey.
You cannot say Salam alaikum and congrats about whiskey.
You cannot say that explicitly this fight, if anyone falls out, I will step in, and then someone actually falls out, not 2 days before the fight, 3 weeks before the fight. And you're like, nah, never mind. Like, come on, that's really weak of Benoit Saint-Denis, I gotta say that. But then, because Charles is calling out everyone, he's saying, I want to fight at UFC Rio desperately. No one wants to fight me. Stop saying it that you want to fight me if you're not actually willing to fight when the UFC offers you a contract. Then a certain Mateusz Gamrot pulled up. Wait. God damn it. Sorry, guys. Mateusz Gamrot pulled up and said, hey, Charles, I want to fight you. I want to fight you. I want to fight you. Charles Oliveira then said in an interview, I was focused on a guy who comes from a striking background with 2 weeks left until the fight. It's 2.5 weeks, not 2 weeks. I think it's Tuesday now. It's 2.5 weeks. It's nearly 3 weeks. It's not 2 weeks. With 2 weeks left until the fight, I have to change my whole game plan. It's very complicated. I don't want to be taken off the card. I asked for this fight. I also asked for this card. I've been training like crazy for it. Gamrot is a good matchup for me in a sense because he's a wrestler, grappler. But it's completely different from the style I've been training for the last month or two. It's about understanding the game and planning. Yeah, bro, but what you expect from the person who steps in is that the person can't plan. No one planned to step in short notice against you, and you're hating on the people that say they want to fight you, but then do not accept the fight, which I understand. But you say you want to fight desperately on the card. A guy is literally willing to step up on 2.5 weeks notice, and you say no because I prepared for a striker, he's a grappler. That's a weak excuse. That's literally ducking, because you cannot say A and then say B, but insist that A is still the case.
That's the most retarded I've ever heard.
You know what I mean? It's just stupid. And the argument makes no sense either, because Gamrot had zero training for that fight. You had a whole training camp. And in MMA training camps, it's not like just because you fight a striker, all you do is strike. I can guarantee you, especially since Charles probably wanted to take the fight to the ground, because that's where Charles has the biggest advantage against Fiziev, I'm sure he grappled a ton in that camp as well. And like, how can you claim that you are the best fighter in your division if you then say, no, I can't take a wrestler on 3 weeks notice if I prepare for a striker. If you're the best, bro.
You have 2 hands.
It's not like in training camp you will turn into a whole different fighter if you just focus a little bit more on grappling. That's not the case. Training camp is mostly to get in the best physical shape possible. Like, that's a weak excuse. It makes no sense. It makes no sense to Charles Oliveira to say that. Really, no sense. You're a good grappler anyway. You say it's a good matchup for you. How can you say you're prepared for a striker? I would understand it if for the last year all you did was hitting pads and didn't grapple at all, and the other guy, the other guy now invites you to a grappling match. I understand that, but it's an MMA fight. You prepared for an MMA fight. What Gamrot brings is an MMA fight. And you're phenomenal on the ground anyway. So I really don't see what his problem is here. And Gamrot then said, wait, I think I have a better picture here. No, he doesn't. Here, you worried about my style, even though you had a full training camp, I had none. And still, I'm ready to step into the cage. 2 weeks left to prepare, and I'm ready to DDT right here. No excuses, let's do this. He's 100% right. And Gamrot, I always feel like he's the guy that always gets shit on. Like, Gamrot's always willing to step up. He's always the gangster that's willing to step in short notice. And somehow the UFC and the other fighters always just dismiss him. Like, give him his chance. I remember he was even the backup when Charles Oliveira was scheduled to fight Islam Makhachev at UFC 294 in Abu Dhabi. He was the official backup. Oliveira got injured 1 week before the fight. Instead of using the backup, which is probably contractually what they would owe him, they called Alex Volkanovski. Like, Gamrot always gets left behind. I really feel for him because he's a great fighter. He might not be the most entertaining one, which is the reason as well for the things that I just said, but he's a great fighter. And then another guy stepped up as well, Diego Lopez. He got asked about it and he was like, of course, why not? Of course I'd accept, especially because Charles is a legend. And like always, and like I've always said, man, I'll never turn down a fight. If you think I'm the right guy to fight him and you call me, then definitely yes, no problem, without even thinking twice. And I think he said in another interview as well, like, yeah, I would gladly fight at 155 if it's against a legend like Charles Oliveira. Now the problem with that is, Diego Lopez just fought 2 weeks ago, and he took a lot of damage in that fight. He took a lot of damage. He got rocked a couple of times. I would hope that he would not even get cleared to fight, and he should definitely not fight. If you get rocked so many times just 2 weeks ago, you should not be doing sparring for 1 or 2 months either. Like, fighters need to really take the healing serious. And that's a great segue to what I was trying to say about Oliveira in general. Why I think God is protecting, or whatever you believe in, is protecting Charles Oliveira here, because Charles Oliveira should not be in there. You got knocked out bad against Topuria. And you got finished so many times, rocked so many times in the past in your fights. Now you got knocked out cold with 2 hammer fists on your literally dead body just 2 months ago. And now you should, like 2.5 months later, you want to fight again against a heavy striker? That should not even be, you should not even be cleared. Like, how did Justin Gaethje get the I don't know, rule from the commission that he can't spar for half a year after the knockout against Holloway, but Oliveira can fight 2.5 months after the knockout against Topuria? I don't understand it. How can a commission allow this? He should be banned from competing until at least the end of the year. I don't care if he's old and needs to get the fights in. I don't care. His health should be top priority. And he's a fighter. Of course he wants to get back in there, but he should not. This is horrible for his brain health. Charles Oliveira probably already has CTE at the age of 50 because, and I don't mean this in a joking way, because he took so much damage over the course of his career. And Shootbox is a gym that is famous as well for sparring very hard and all of that. I even made a video about why Charles Oliveira should retire because of that, because he took way too much damage over his career. And now fighting 2.5 months later, reminds me of Volkanovski when he fought Topuria. I still believe, by the way, that Topuria would have finished him either way, but this is horrible for your brain health. Horrible. And I don't think he should fight. But what I see is he's still listed on the official UFC homepage against Fiziev, or Fiziev, however you want to pronounce his name. So that to me means that they're still searching for a replacement. If they would not be still searching for a replacement, they would have announced Figueiredo against Montel Jackson as the main event, which they have not done as of 1:20 p.m. at the 23rd of September. So that to me means they're still trying to get Oliveira a fight, and I would not be surprised if they somehow get him someone that he would like to face. I don't know, maybe even Mauricio Ruffi. That would be a great fight, because Ruffi did not really take damage against Benoit Saint-Denis, and he probably wants to get... No. It would be hard to argue why he deserves to fight a number 4 ranked guy, but they probably tried to find someone. Otherwise, they would have made an announcement here, but that would be a horrible main event. Montel Jackson against Davison Figueiredo, so... Yeah, I really wonder what's going on behind the scenes, but I do think that Charles Oliveira should not take a fight as a Charles Oliveira fan, because he should have never fought in the first place at UFC Rio. But if he takes a fight, give Mateusz Gamrot a shot. He's in the right ranking spot. He's a guy you never faced before. It will be a fun matchup to watch, to be honest, and Gamrot 100% deserves it. So if you want to book something, book Gamrot against Do Bronx. This is my opinion, why I think Oliveira is stuck in Gamrot, why I don't like this behavior of Oliveira, saying A and saying B. Write your opinion in the comments, you guys. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, would appreciate that. Check out my merch, bloodsport.net, worldwide free shipping with the code FREE. Fresh to MMA merch. Check it out, you guys. Stay bloody. And until the next one, bye-bye. Bloodsport out.